Hi, welcome to StoryHive On Location Revelstoke. I'm Robb, and we're live in Revelstoke with another incredibly inspiring episode brought to you by TELUS STORYHIve. Today I'm sitting with Jah-cko, a multi-talented artist out of Revelstoke, who we're going to dive into his story, his artwork, and a lot of the process behind it, because he's got a lot of really cool things behind me. Jah-cko, thank you for having me.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Let's start off with who you are, where you're from, and how you got into creating so many forms of art.
So I'm Jack, or Jah-cko as an artist name, and I'm originally from France. Moved in Canada more than 7 years ago, and I always draw since I'm a kid, like scheduling, doodling, and never really did a career in that. I just keep that as a hobby. But 2 years ago, something happened and I reconnect to my art, and since I try to be really productive.
Love it. Moving from France to Canada, how was that experience?
Actually, that's my sister initiated the movement, like 2009. After her studies, she moved in Canada and she lived there since, but on the Quebec side.
Okay.
I visit many times Quebec, but I fall in love with BC, and I moved in 2019 in Revelstoke.
Love it. What made you choose Revelstoke?
Destiny.
Destiny, love it.
Yeah, I get Revelstoke after a mechanic issue. I arrived on the tow truck. I arrived in Revelstoke and never left.
As was it Jess or Stephanie? Revelstuck.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
In a good way.
I'm not the only one. I have some few friends who did the same.
That's awesome. What started your passion in drawing?
Since a kid, I just like copy graphic novel, comics books. I was a huge fan. From France is like the French-Belgium illustration is really something big, and I just been in this culture since I'm a kid. And maybe my parents just like that, having a kid spending hours silently on the paper. So just encourage me and give me more paper, more pencil, more watercolor, or different things.
Are your parents creative as well?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah?
My mom did some books for kids, illustration.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Painting and drawing is one thing. This is where I like sitting down with artists who do the physical mediums, as I like to say, because I have a hard time understanding how you can take something from your brain, put it onto paper, onto canvas, 3D, watercolor, statues. Like, what really made you fall in love with stepping outside of just drawing?
I passed by some art studies at one moment.
Okay.
But it was not really my cup of tea, scholarship and staying in the classroom. But so I just continue as a hobby doodling. And 2 years ago, I actually had a snowboard accident. And I have to stay at home for 3 months on crutches. I'm like, that could be a good moment to be back on painting and maybe telling the story of how I crash. And I spent 3 months painting, and that's some of them. And actually something happened, like I healed very well, because maybe I was taking out of this trauma on paper or on Canva. And I was like, okay, I can't stop, I have to continue after. And I found a way to expose my drawing or my painting. And that was the beginning of continue processing.
I love it, because you've also had artwork put in some of the galleries around here.
That was the first time I exposed my drawing to public, and it was a great feeling having reviews, because I used to just show to my friends, and friends are always friendly and saying nice stuff, but coming from someone you don't know is really a great review. It's kind of more, not important, but better.
It gives you a bit of a sense of like, I'm accomplishing something and my friends aren't my only supporters.
Yeah.
I totally get that. You have a very unique style, and that's what I think drew me to wanting to sit down and talk to you. Was the artwork that you sent to me was mainly watercolors, but now when I'm sitting down in front of it, I get to see a lot of your other work, and I'm like, multi-talented, multi-skilled.
Yeah.
And this has a story, and you were mentioning that you have this story that you've created, but now I'm looking at, like, you've got two paintings. You've got a piece of wood with artwork, and you've got another canvas, and then a 3D printed piece, or like a multi-dimensional piece.
Yeah.
How
So-
the story goes? How do you
So
start?
actually, yeah, I will tell the story on these few pieces. So it was one moment I was having fun on snowboard, and so actually this painting is twisting on itself,
Oh, whoa!
and it
cool.
represents the moment of having fun and losing balance, and actually tumbling. Like I was just dropping a cliff, and I
so
failed
cool.
my landing. Yeah, it's better on the wall, but
That's so cool.
it represents this moment, like a fraction of a second of fun, not fun, losing balance.
Yep.
So after the tumbling, I arrived on a tree and just hit my hips, actually.
Oh no.
I broke my pelvis. So after the tree was a really painful moment. And that's one of the first drawing I made, was trying to represent the pain I got at this moment.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah, it's in the background. It's a lot of swearing in French, in English, and so like I was really hating myself. And here is broken hips.
Yeah.
And the 3D. Can I stand up?
Oh yeah, you're more than welcome to grab that if you need to.
Because this one, so I was actually falling close to a chairlift, and I was able to call for help from the chairlift. And it was this rotating moment of calling for help, and people were like, "Do you need help?" I was like, "Yes!" And then 2 chair later, "Do you need help?" "Yes!" And yeah, finally some people arrived, rescued me, and I arrived at the hospital. So this one, and it was a kind of awareness moment of, oh, the way of healing is not finished, it's just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start painting and sketching. I was first when I do comic books, but it ended to some canvas.
That thing is really cool.
Yeah.
That's all I got to
Yeah,
say.
on
That
a-
thing is so cool.
In the review, so many people said, oh, they love having interaction with
Mhm.
art. Like, for once, you can touch the art and don't have to just look with your eyes. And
That's magical.
yeah, a lot of people like it.
Do you think you'll continue doing art like that, where it's interactive almost?
I'm not sure I want to break again my hips to make another artwork, but this one, actually, I would like to try to bring to another gallery. Or I didn't really do the process yet, but
Mhm.
I would like to continue showing this story.
It's a-
I feel like it could talk to a lot of people who have injuries, who know someone who have injuries on a ski resort,
Mhm.
especially here in BC.
I think the fact that you have a really unique mind as an artist. You can
Yeah.
see that you don't think on the same level of just putting it on canvas. So like the fact that these move and they're interactive, that is a whole other form of
Yeah.
ingenuity that I would have never seen coming.
Yeah, I just try to surprise with myself with a new idea. But when I got the idea of moving and spinning, it was great in my head. It takes so long to realize it was so complicated.
Yeah,
And even if it's just cardboard, but just fixing everything together and make it turn properly and solid enough to expose it in was a long process.
Do you have any engineering background
Hmm?
at all? Like any engineering
No,
background?
no.
So you did that all out of your mind and
Yeah.
trial and error.
Yeah, kind of.
That's super cool. Because you don't really often see, like, I feel like we used to see artwork that was interactive like that back in the early, like, 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. You'd see more of it. You don't see a lot of it anymore. And I think that that's a really cool thing to see. Like,
Thank you.
it's takes a unique mind to be able to create something that unique and beautiful. Like, I'm trying to, like, comprehend to how you got it to move in all the aspects, and it's painted, and it's like it sits there, and it's. Is it made out of cardboard?
Yeah, it's mostly cardboard
That's so
and some
cool.
wire and glue, a lot of glue.
And then you also do a lot of different styles of artwork, which is really cool to see that you have a diverse plethora of what you're able to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer doing the story, or do you prefer moving towards like the watercolors and the other styles? or is that what it's just come to?
It's more what's come to me. Like creativities depend of the mood. So sometimes, like, yeah, I have a crazy story happen to me, so I would like to make it on paper or on Canva or stuff. Sometimes just I have a funny joke I would like to illustrate, and it will be probably just pencil or ink. Or if I have more time and want to bring color, yeah, I will go for watercolor. That's kind of my favorite.
Watercolor is?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you have a beautiful style when it comes to watercolor, and it's elegant, it's edgy, it's unique. There's something about it that is like it caught my eye right away, and I think there's like this beauty of representation for women that you have when you're painting the female body, that it just like you have a really unique way of doing it.
Well, that's so after contacting the gallery in Revelstoke, become a membership, and I learned they have some live drawing session almost every week during the winter.
Okay.
And I did some live drawing back in time in my study, and I never practiced since. And like, oh, that could be a good idea to be back. And I just love this exercise of having a body in front and drawing it. And yeah, actually, my drawing, I have a pile over here.
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of beautiful pieces. I'll just grab a handful from the front. And you can explain if you want. Because we got to bring that one too.
You will continue. And
just keep pulling them out. Here, I'll let you explain them because they're stunning. Like I can't even begin to like comprehend, because like I was saying before off camera, is that watercolor is one that has always kind of eluded me.
So this one is ink and white pencil.
Oh wow.
And so my method on this thing is I prep a background. So I do first some ink, random drops or watercolor, and on the moment I will draw the model using the background as a playful things.
So this started off with the black ink, and then as that dried, you put the white crayon
and then I
top.
white with a white pencil.
See, like I like being a musician because this confuses me. I love getting to speak with people who are creative in this aspect. You're like his watercolors, though. They're beautiful.
Thank you. This one is really interesting because the red dot was before.
Okay.
And on the moment, the body like takes the position, and it just matched so well red.
Was the model in front of you for these?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had already had the red on the canvas.
Yeah.
And then she laid down, and you're like, oh.
And when I was drawing, it suddenly matched on the position of the background, and something I can't explain. It just happened, and that's the beauty of doing art.
And that's kind of where I love what you showed me, because it is very, and the fact that it's live is kind of it adds a whole new element.
Yeah.
You almost don't see it as much anymore. Like it used to be very popular, where you'd have like 20 different painters in a room painting a live subject.
Yeah, I don't know.
At least you see that in films, where it's like where they're talking, you see artists painting, and they're doing these beautiful pieces of work. But is watercolor, from my perspective, watercolor has always been a little more difficult than acrylics, just because you have to be a little more dynamic with how you choose it.
I think it's just a question of sensibility. Like some people will much better watercolors than acrylic, or I don't know. I just experiment, and sometimes I feel like I got better results with watercolor, but
well, I mean,
when my acrylic could be standing, it's just question of time you're spending and dedication to the process you're doing.
Is there a big difference in the process though between acrylic and watercolor?
Yeah, like acrylic, you're just adding more color and more colors, and if you need something brighter, you can just add more white. When watercolor, you have to preserve what you want to keep it clear, so you just you have to choose your color and adding slowly and slowly.
Yeah.
And if you put too much, it's become a big mess, and your paper.
With watercolors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like I always failed. As tried watercolors was like I'd almost overblend. And I do that with acrylic too. I'm very guilty for like creating these really weird blends. And they don't even look good. It's just like a mixture of color. It looks like mud. And that's where it's like I'm thankful that I get to speak with creative minds from your aspect, who are painters and like who take things that from their mind and can produce that onto paper. I envy that skill more than anything, because like as a musician, I can take the sound and what I'm hearing in my head and put that onto recording. But there are so many visual things that I'd love to be able to take out of my mind and put onto paper so that I can like, so it's out kind of a thing. But it's like, as soon as I put pen to paper, it's just terrible. And I've practiced, I've tried, it's just not my medium. I've accepted that.
I know today with AI you can do it.
Is this charcoal?
So that's an interesting method. I start with charcoal at the background.
Okay.
I fulfill the page, it's completely black. And on the moment I come with an eraser to just make the white. And instead of drawing the shadow, I drawing the light.
The highlights.
Yeah. And then I come back with the charcoal to surline some black line, but
I feel like that would be almost easier for me.
maybe.
Trying to do opposite. Because I mean, I feel like that's where I always go wrong is I'm always trying, I can't see
Yeah.
the light.
You have to be careful with this one because you can finish with a mess because it's a pure page of charcoal, and if you put your hand, you just stamp it and make it worse and worse.
It's just stunning. I love that you have like a very, I want to say almost like a graffiti-esque hand where it's like, you've got like round, perfect rounds, but then you've got these like really cool straights, and they always seem to like blend in perfectly. So it kind of reminds me of like when I'm watching the shapes, it reminds me of like block letters for graffiti or.
For me, it's really inspired from the French, Belgium graphic novel style. Is really my style. Is not so much popular in North America, so a lot of people say, "Oh, I love your style." For me, it's like, yeah, I just copy so many other artists from my childhood.
Well, for us, I think it's also the culture. Like you grew up in France, so you're watching French artists create graphic novels and really cool artwork, right? So it's like
well, after I got a huge influence as well. I love Japanese animation and manga style, and I got interested in diversity. And at the end, it just created a unique style, maybe. But for me, just pinching a lot of different culture, different things.
is there, this might be a weird question, is there French animation that is like somewhat like anime, where they have like their own style of like cartoon work?
There is not a own style, but there is some famous school of animation, Les Gobelins.
Okay.
And just on YouTube, you can watch some short animation of students, and all of them are so different from one to another. It's so different style and so many. Yeah, it's really entertaining to just watch that.
Because I wonder, like I've spoken with other artists from other countries, and that the cultural background that they grew up with did influence their artwork, but it wasn't like it was like full-fledged. It was just like little pieces and tidbits from the culture that they remember that was like, oh, I remember this specific character that I really liked, or like the way that this person drew their hair and painted that.
Yeah.
Like you take those, and it's when you're like a lot of Canadian artists are paintings, have you probably noticed, very landscape. Like, we come from
you have beautiful landscape.
beautiful landscapes, but like there's like not a lot of artists that I've got to meet that do like characters or like unique, stepping outside of the realm of here's the beauty of BC, but like to create their own unique world within that, if that makes sense, right? And I feel like that's what you're doing. You're creating this unique world of your artwork in Revelstoke, and it stands out from everybody else's because you are a unique character, right?
Yeah, that's actually a feeling I got. So since I'm back to really produce a lot, I'm like, yeah, maybe I have my place here because not everybody, but a lot of people do landscape or nature style. And like, I really like doing cartoon characters, caricature things, and I don't saw that so much. So like, I could bring that to here, to this teeny community and art community. And so yeah, it's a process I do slowly, but yeah.
These wood pieces.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about calcifer up there?
Yeah.
Because I'm like in love with that piece right now, and I'm just like, I have to talk about calcifer.
Yeah, so it's that during summer I just love go camping above the lake, and dry food are just hypnotic to me. Like I love walking on the shore and collecting piece of dry food, and some of them sometimes I just start next to the fire, start putting some colors on it, and sometimes some other I will just push further and further, and I start to see a face or a character, and I just paint it and making it situation. So yeah, you have Calcifer from the Mowing Castle. Just on right, it's a reference to the Blues Brothers. And actually on the other side, there is the other face. I will quickly show.
Is it Elwood and Jake, both of their faces? Yes, love it.
Well, it's not really balanced. Okay. If it fall, it fall.
Well done. That was magic. That is so cool. Yeah. That's a really cool cultural reference that you brought back. That's
I love this. I love this movie. I watched it 1,000 times as a kid. It's such a great musical for me.
So that's kind of cool. I like that you. I don't think a lot of people would have thought about Blues Brothers. So I really like that piece. Or Calcifer. Not many people are like understand.
Well, even on the left of Calcifer, it's another cartoon character, but not so much people saw it. It's Turangalila from Futurama.
Yes.
The one-eyed cyclop.
That is awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of almost abstract, but myself, I see it.
No, I totally see it. I see that it's hanging up by her hair, her pigtail now. That's so cool. I like the way you think. And you see these pieces of wood and you just turn it into a character. I like the Calcifer, though. That is well thought of. Yeah. Did you carve him at all, or is that how you found it?
Just I found the piece like that, and I was like, I said the shape of a flame, and I start first making a flame, and then I think about Calcifer from the Studio Ghibli movie, and I was like, I will go for that.
Yeah, and I love it, because those are some of my favorite movies.
Oh, the Ghibli studio are amazing.
And like my children watch them, like it's one of their favorite movies. So I'm like, I looked up and I'm seeing Calcifer, and I'm like, oh man, like great minds think alike.
Thank you.
These beautiful pieces that you've done.
Yeah.
In your coming back to becoming an artist, like coming back and taking a step away from it, moving to Canada, becoming an artist, what's been the biggest hurdle for you to overcome? Besides your injury, because that was probably one of them.
Actually, I still struggle a bit about calling myself an artist. For me, it's just a really huge hobby, and I decided to dedicate a lot of time. I don't really sell my art yet. I'm in the process to do it, but so far I just like producing. It's such a weird feeling, like I struggle to put value on my drawing. So calling myself a professional artist I'm really afraid. So I prefer having a job and on the side and trying to find more time, free time to do more and more art. But yeah, that's probably the biggest struggle now, is like finding a balance, maybe making a bit of money just to pay for the supplies, and because art is expensive. Mm-hmm. But it's just I just do it for the joy and kind of psychoanalytic a bit, mm-hmm. Like dealing with my trauma of the crash was really great, and now I feel like I could maybe explore more stuff inside of me, or by drawings, or just doing funny things. But it really helped me to feel better, and in a health mental balance, art is part of my life. Yeah,
love it. I think the way you went about your story and making it into, is there more pieces, or is it the 5 pieces?
Oh, there is 12 pieces.
See, so like that, the fact that your brain is like, hey, I can make 12 pieces, this story, mm-hmm. within 12 pieces. I think that is a really cool concept, because you can take different stories and do that and have all your whole life story laid out in front of you and let people see it, which is very intimidating, letting people learn who you are from the inside, right? As a musician, that's what I do. I tear myself apart musically, and this is who I am. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, don't listen to it. And as an artist, I feel like we tend to be the most insecure and deprecating. We tend to throw ourselves in the dirt more often than we pick ourselves up as artists. And that's where you're saying it's hard to put value on yourself. It's really hard to separate yourself from your art and to sell it and to put a price on it where you feel like you're not ripping someone off and you're not being ripped off. And I think that's where every single artist hits that point and is like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Like, none of us know how. We're not taught.
No.
We're just taught. We're not even taught how to make art. We do it, and then it's like yourself. All these lessons you've got to learn yourself and fail, and then you realize at a point that it's the value you put on it. People see it way more valuable than you do, no matter what. Like we went into the co-op yesterday and saw some of Haley's paintings, some of her landscapes, and I'm looking at the price of them, and I'm going, that needs to be doubled for the skill set that she has. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like robbery watching it go away at that price. And that's where it's like, I feel artists, we as ourselves, we don't look at our work for the value it is. But at the end of the day, like, you're creating artwork, and art is what lasts through the ages. Yeah. It's not the titles that we're given. It's not the jobs we work. It's like, if we look at history and culture and we look in the past, what's left is the artwork, the architecture, and the food. Music doesn't last in the ages. Like, there's not a lot of music that we know from Roman times.
It's become changing and stuff,
right.
but
like, we know the what's recorded. If it's recorded, it'll last.
But recorded is a really young technology compared to the music history.
But like, how much music have we lost in history because it was never recorded? As where like the paintings have lasted. Like, we still have the Mona Lisa. We still have all these beautiful paintings.
You still have to keep the painting and restore them and for the most value. But we lost a lot of painting as well during the time. And
that's one thing that is very kind of heartbreaking. It's like to think about how much paintings and artwork we've lost in the last, we'll say, 60 years. But we've seen so much, like a huge resurgence in, like, especially the BC art scene, I think is starting to thrive. And like, you're seeing tons of artists, not even just from Revelstoke. Revelstoke is packed full. Like, it's an anomaly, this town, for how many. It's got a population of maybe 10,000, I think they said, and I'm pretty sure like 8,000 of those are creatives.
It's possible, yeah.
It's like, I don't know how it's possible, but there's a vibe here that it just allows to artists to be themselves, which I feel is something that is like lacking in every other arts city. So I think that's where you see a lot of these artists gravitating to Revelstoke, like yourself. You're like, oh, I had a mechanical issue and then I just never left. It's like,
well, I come first for snowboarding.
Right.
My first things bringing me here was snowboarding, and I spent like many years of just enjoying snowboarding and outdoor sports and stuff. But after my injury, I realized I will become older and older, and one day I will not be able to do sport. Maybe I should do more art. And same about what you were saying about music and what we keep. It was just, I kind of realized there was all my doings in a sketchbook and never go outside of my sketchbook. So like, I should pass this step and try to show more of my drawing, more than just my friends and to the public. Mm-hmm. And there is a lot of opportunity in this town to meet other people's creativity, and there's many gallery or art center and stuff. So there is something happening in this town, and before I was just looking at for a corner of the eyes. Now I just try to jump in that.
I mean, you may as well, because the worst thing that you're going to hear is no. Like, that's always what I say when I'm booking bands or if I'm managing bands, because that's what I do a lot of the time, is the worst thing you can ever hear when you're trying to promote yourself is no. And at the end of the day, that means nothing, because you just turn to somebody else and ask a question again, right? So when I look at like an artist starting and they're building their career and they're finally getting to a point where like you're getting into galleries and stuff, like, for me, that's one of the hardest parts. You got into a gallery within 3 years of painting. That's a feat of accomplishment. And then to continue doing it, and you have like stacks of paintings and stacks of work, and it's like you're just a beast producing all this work. And I'm looking at these pieces over here that are I assume new, because they're looking like they're drying, but like,
that's my wall in the house. I have with my roommate. I just hang out my last production, and it's just changing all the time. It's a kind of keep motivation to always having drawing on this wall for my roommate.
Like, so cool. Like, I'm loving this one with the I want to say it's a skeleton having a birthday party.
This one is actually a bit more personal. Like last week, I celebrate my 39 years old birthday.
Okay.
And in fact, my dad died really young. He's 38 years old. So I pass a year more than my dad, and I represent by this drawing.
It's a beautiful painting.
I just grab it because It's not for me. It's not a sad story, but
Yeah.
it's a story of me and my dad blowing the 39 candle.
See, I love it.
Yeah.
That's a
And,
beautiful piece.
It's coming from my heart because it's not my dad; it's the spirit of my dad in my heart.
I love it. That's a really beautiful piece.
So yeah, that's some stuff I would like to explore more, talking about inner things. And usually I would never so much talking about my dad death or stuff, but doing this painting and being for hours and stuff, I was just accepting it, and now I could talk it more easily than before.
Was it cathartic? Was it cathartic? Like helped? Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I would like to explore more in art, talking about stuff. I don't feel so much comfortable to talk with people in a discussion, but when I spend hours doing watercolor or searching for the composition, like doing sketches, it just helps myself to talk about it with myself.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally understand
Instead
that.
of paying for a psychanalyst. I just pay for paper.
I feel that because that's what I do with my music, right? Like if I'm struggling with
every
something.
kind of art is doing kind of doing that, by dance, by music, by singing.
And I feel that like that's where I love that you're able to take. This is where I get envious, right? Because like I wish I could put the feelings onto paper so that I could express it in a different way. Because sometimes people don't fully understand song. They like the song, that it's a good beat, but
Yeah.
like they're not hearing the words. They hear the words, but they're not hearing the message. As where if you could show them the message, I feel like they'd understand it a little more, which is kind of like.
But same, I have to explain you what the story behind. You just say, it's a skeleton having a birthday party. I'm like, yeah.
It is a birthday party, but it's also
it
like
was actually the one you pick up in all the drawing. I'm like, it's interesting. Let's talk about that.
Right, it's a beautiful piece, and I think
Yeah.
I think I also being like a total metalhead and like loves darker art and stuff. Like I see skeleton and I'm like, oh, right up my alley, right?
Yep.
So like for me, I'm like, or I see this, I feel like it's a cat skull warrior.
Yeah.
Right. Like I see that and I'm like drawn to that because it's edgy, dark. There's like that's what I like about your work is there's something that I've never seen before in it. And I've seen lots of watercolors, I've seen lots of artists who can do characters, but there's something like I can't even put my finger on it because I can't express what it is. I haven't figured it out yet, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
And that's
guess
like-
I'm just someone curious, and I like to explore different subjects, different method or medium, and yeah, like I just try to change or surprise even myself about a drawing. And so on this pile of paper was last year I did the Inktober challenge.
Okay.
It's
I'll pull them up. These are
it's
so
in
cool.
October every year. That's an Instagram challenge, and you have a list of 31 words, and every day you have to publish a drawing on the word of the day.
Okay.
So it was just challenging. In one day, like the word was shredded. So actually, I just put them, and on the back there is a word shredded.
Love it.
This one was sweep, I think. Yeah.
I love how you can
So I
memorize
just
them.
because it was actually a mental challenge to find something original from the word, like not the first basing the drawing a broom. I was like, I will draw someone brooming and talking about ecology and stuff like that. And
Can we take a minute to appreciate the way his mind works? They're lifting up the sand, putting the garbage underneath the sand to cover it up again, like it's a
to have a
rug.
great postcard of a beach, but in fact behind the postcards there is
Like that's what I
the-
mean by like. There's something about the way your brain works that I like. It draws me to your artwork because it is very unique. Rivals. I like that. That is. So this challenge, who puts the challenge on?
I think it's been over 10 years now or something
Okay.
like. It's really long, and every year there is an official list of words released before October, like 1 or 2 days before October. And yeah, a lot of people, it's really interesting in October to just have the Inktober challenge every day and see what's different artists approach and stuff. And
So strictly just
Everywhere-
art or ink?
it's supposed to be ink,
Okay.
mostly. But some other
So
people
cool. So cool. I like this one, onion.
yeah, it's an onion cutting himself, so he's crying.
That's why I was laughing. I love it. Like so cool. And that's the thing is like, there's a little bit of chaos in here, and that's what I like. It's not like
Life is chaos.
it is very chaotic, and I think that's one thing that I think people are always scared of. Is they're like scared to deal with the chaos and like the negative aspect, because it puts them in a weird mindset and they don't know how to deal with it. But it's like that's what makes you stronger.
Yeah.
You cannot grow without
Yeah,
struggle.
you need darkness or sadness to enjoy more the happy or joyful moment. So
Pierce.
for me, it's as I said earlier. So I lost my dad really young, but it's not sad for me. It's part of my life, and yeah, like I feel like there is beauty in a sad moment, a nostalgic moment,
No, I'm with you
but
there.
also it's important to cherish more happy or fun and stuff. So my art is a mix of everything, and
I just love going through these and seeing the next one. And trying to guess what it is. I think that's probably one of my favorite things, is trying to guess what the back is.
actually there is a list of all the words. So I was playing a game with
It's so
friends.
funny.
I put all the drawing and give the list, and they have to find the word to the drawing. And
That's awesome. I like this. That is a good classic
yeah,
ode to the Roadrunner Coyote and Link.
yeah. Well, I have a huge geek for culture. And,
Oh, man. That is so cool. I don't even want to know. Heart. Trunk.
yeah, that's the opposite.
Yeah. So cool. And I like that you chose Link.
Yeah, well, trunk. I don't know. With Link.
That is awesome. See, I love how your brain works. Lesson, and you turn it into Star Wars. So the Inktober, who puts it on though? Is it like a company that puts?
To
Or
be
is it
honest,
just
I have no
random?
idea. I just heard about that like such a long time ago.
So cool.
Never really tried to do it, but yeah, last October I was just no job in October. It was raining every day. I was like, could be a good challenge to do. It's a challenge. Like
bet.
I was exhausted at the end of the month, and I was really happy to finish it. But after I got so much good drawings, some of them two or three of them I pushed it to a Canva, and I was like, oh, the idea was so good, I can't leave it there. And maybe one day I will go back again in some other drawing. Like it was just a good challenge to push myself, and after it's something there is no reward or stuff except your own satisfaction. But you don't have to do every word neither. It's just some stimulation to do in October, especially when days start to be shorter and winter approaching. Like it's so depressing in October. So I like to just be full productive.
Those challenges are not easy either.
Yeah.
I tried to do the 365 day as a photographer where you post a photo every day.
Yeah.
So hard. I think I made 60 days, and I was like, I can't get out and do photos every day and then come and edit them, and then it just life gets in the way. It's very difficult, and it's almost like if you don't do it, you're kind of like beating yourself up, like, oh, I didn't get to it today. But at the end of the day, it's like, look how much work you produced still.
Someday I was trying to push harder myself to do 2 or 3 drawings so I could enjoy 1 or 2 days off and be back after, just with a balance of not being every day neither.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was tough.
What's been one of your favorite pieces that you've completed to this day?
Oh no, I can't answer to that.
Can't do that one?
Every drawing have a story behind. Every drawing have a teeny moment. Yeah, now there is some the piece of more favorites of other, but I can't decide one.
It's hard.
Like this one, the moving one, was really full of challenge, and it got a lot of appreciation. It took me so long. But in the opposite, this one was really fast made, but it's so beautiful because it don't have so much detail, and it's just powerful by what it's showing. So it's completely opposite process, but both of them I like them as much.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing looking at the work and seeing how many different styles that you are actually able to accomplish. Is there any style of painting or artwork that you haven't dabbled in yet that you'd like to?
No, I'm just curious, and I love a lot of different style. And yeah, maybe as a kid and grew up in France, I have easy access to a lot of different museum. Or I remember my parents bring me really often to museum, and so I guess I have a culture of curiosity and exploring different style.
I didn't think about that. Getting to go to the museums in France and seeing the classic paintings and stuff. That would inspire.
Classic, modern, or contemporary. I have more struggle with contemporary art, but classic and modern art, yeah. I see a lot of that. And,
do you? So you work with wood. You work with ink. You do watercolors. You do acrylics. Is there anything else that you do that I have not still found yet?
I recently started lino cut, so it's prints.
Okay.
So did I have something here? Maybe. Well, yeah, this teeny one. Up. Oh no, actually, over here I have this one.
So cool.
This one I just on a piece of rubber. I will carve something, and then you ink the piece of rubber, and as a stamp you just print it, and you can print it many times.
Yes. There's no stopping you.
No?
No, there's no stopping you. You are I'm gonna say you're just a Renaissance man. You can do anything you want it to. It's mind blowing.
Yeah.
So you're carving rubber.
Yeah.
To create these.
Yeah. Actually, I think in the corner over here I have an example. Let me just grab it.
So cool.
Up.
Okay.
So that's the result.
Oh. Okay, so how do you? Because
And
it's reversed.
that's
It's reversed.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I don't know if you can zoom in to get that, but man, how does your brain just go? I'm gonna make a stamp of Bigfoot.
I prepped the drawing before, and I was satisfied of the drawing, so I draw the drawing on the piece of rubber, and then I sculpted.
Okay, smart. Smart way to
Someone
go.
explained me how to do it. It was actually an art workshop in town, someone making it, so I just participated, and I was like, I love this method, I could reprint the same drawing so many times. And then told me you can also have some ink going on fabrics, so I started slowly to put them on t-shirt or...
Genius.
But it's something I discovered like a month ago, and I just want to go more on that. And,
So does that mean I can eventually buy a Jah-cko shirt with this on it?
Yeah.
Because I would totally buy a shirt from you if you had this on it. That is so cool.
I made it on one of my shorts, and just there, and you know it's my favorite shorts.
Right? That's so cool. That is a medium that I would love to dive into. Because that right there is like something I've never seen.
It's kind of pretty easy, and there's many people in town doing that.
It seems like it'd be hard. Like the shaving seems like it would be hard to get to the...
It's really meditative and kind of satisfying of peeling the rubber with your tool and stuff. Really
It's
nice.
mind-blowing what you do.
And then I also love craft things. Like you can see the dragonfly I just
You
made
made the
from...
dragonfly too?
Yeah.
My
Be careful, it's really fragile.
I just wanted to take a quick look at it. Wow.
So this one, recently made it as a joke with my roommates, because last year we have a really bad year with mosquito.
Okay.
And dragonfly is one of the most predators of the mosquito.
Okay.
So I told to my roommate, like, we made a totem to attract dragonfly to the house. And like, I just made a totem of. I don't see so much dragonfly, but...
No, and that's the really cool thing. Like,
But
what is the
I
body
love
made of?
craft and taking some recycling object and just making something with that. Could be useless,
Mind-blowing.
but it's fun to make. And,
Absolutely mind-blowing. Like just diving into your world for in less than an hour, and there's just something magic about what you're able to create. And the way your brain works too, because it's not like you're hyper focused on just painting. Like you have so many different ideas that you can get done and do that it's like, where's the limit? Like the sky literally isn't even high enough at this point.
I don't know, the limit is my creativity because sometimes after being a lot of creation, I have no more ideas. And I have to leave it for weeks or months and I don't produce anything. And I back to it. But yes, in my life I used to have even some period of like 6 months of not doing even one schedule or stuff. But since my snowboard accident and being back to painting, I want to avoid that and trying to do a little bit of drawing, at least every week, making a good one good drawing.
Have you been back to riding since the injury?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I'm
good.
fully recovered.
Okay, that's a scary one because the hip is not like they don't heal that well.
As I said, like maybe for me it's because I paint, it helped my body to heal. And so the accident happened in March. In July, I was already walking and practicing my balance on a slack line. So I was like fully recovered.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you find that snowboarding influences any of your art? Like that passion of snowboarding besides the injury? But like
Oh yeah, I love drawing
like,
snowboarders and
love that because I see one up here and I'm like I love it because it's like he's hitting a rail. It's just
yeah,
and it's like it's a unique thing because a lot of people I've never seen art of snowboarders. At least
oh yes, there is.
there is, but
Oh,
I've never
yeah.
like seen it in a cartoony artistic way. Like I feel like graphic novel almost. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like and that's why like your
Yeah,
artwork
it's
is
more rare.
yeah, it's super unique, and that's where it's like I think
Thank you.
it needs to like. It's cool that you're slowly like, all right, now I'm gonna start pushing it out there because like I think it's gonna just thrive. Like I think it's once it starts rolling, it's gonna be the snowball. It's just down the hill, right? So, and I think that's the cool thing is that like getting into galleries relatively early because it takes a lot of artists like 10 years to get themselves into a point where they're in a gallery.
Well, I'm close to my 40 now, and that the first time I go to gallery was in January. So
Right, and that's like you're pulling your dreams and you're making them happen, and you're doing it with this very unique skill set that I love. Like I'm trying to like see who. There's only one person I can relate your artwork to, and it's a movie that my children love. And it's called The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and it's the way it's drawn. It's an animated film, but it's drawn and animated. So it's like I don't know how to describe it, but the characters, the way they look, remind me a lot of the way you do your characters, and it brings like a joy to my eye because it's not like an art style I've ever seen before, and that's why I love that movie. And my kids love that movie because it's very unique, and I feel like that's exactly what every piece I'm looking at here is unique and diverse and on a different level. Like I think that's why I enjoy the way your brain works and looking at your paintings and your work is because you have a word lesson and he takes it. And not only is it like, oh, okay, I can totally fall in love with this, not only because it's Yoda, Star Wars, but
the moment when Luke have the lesson of becoming a Jedi.
right, but the way that you're like, culturally, I identify with the lesson from Star Wars, so I'm going to draw that. Or Link. How many people genuinely know who Link is, right? How many times have you heard someone say Zelda? That's Zelda. And you're like, come on, bro.
Yeah, and so I mostly draw for myself, so I use my reference, and yeah, you have a ton of reference. And
I love it. With the evolution of your artwork and getting to where you are today, do you think that there's, how do I phrase this? Do you think there's a point where you're ever going to fall into a niche in a sense where like you're finally found, some people sell just strictly landscape artwork or animal paintings, but like you have so many. Do you think that you're going to one day like try and round it into like, this is my artwork, or you're just like, I'm just going to keep going in every direction possible?
I would say sometimes I will have an idea, and like, oh, this idea is great, and I will produce many drawings or painting on this idea.
Okay.
Until I get bored of it, and I pass to something different. But I don't have example around here. But one moment I was doing some recipe, Like I was making an illustration with the story behind the illustration was a recipe.
Okay.
Like you have all the ingredients acting together and making things, and I made like 10, 12 drawings, and I was like, oh, it's a never-endless creation. And after I was like, I don't like this recipe, I don't like this drawing, and I just give up and move to something different. And so many friends were like, oh, you should continue, make a book and stuff. Like, yeah, no, I just bored, and I passed to something different. But maybe if I manage to get more and more time, I could get maybe more and more involved in some project and making a project to the end more oftenly. But no, I just like try to be creative.
I love it.
Exploring and
There's a piece back here
yeah.
on the easel where it looks like a...
Wanna grab it? Just
Yeah,
see,
I feel like it's a giant holding the waterfall.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's an idea I want to explore more, is bringing a human body in a landscape.
This is one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen. And I just
Thank
noticed
you.
it when you went over there to grab the stamp.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
I don't know how to explain too much, but...
So is this watercolor and ink? Like, is that watercolor, the black that's in there, or is that ink?
Pencil.
Oh, okay.
So, like I start with watercolor, in some teeny line I would like something more subtle or precise, I will use a pencil. But it's mostly watercolor, this one.
Do you have a name for this one?
Mother Sauce.
I love it. That is such a beautiful piece. Oh,
Thank you.
Do you have more in this kind of style? Where you took like nature and made the goddesses kind of a thing?
I have one other somewhere on the back, but it's a man.
Okay.
And actually, I'm working on something really similar right now on a big canvas. But it's just the beginning. I'm still on the research process and doing sketches and stuff.
Is canvas, when you're doing a big canvas with watercolor?
No, I'm going acrylic on canvas.
Oh, okay.
Because watercolor, you need the paper
I was gonna say, you
absorb
need that paper,
the
right?
water. When on canvas, it's kind of, I would not say waterproof, but the water will drop on the
so you
canvas.
can't even...
Now watercolor is, oh, for me, I don't know, maybe some artists have a secret, but me, watercolor is only on paper.
Okay. See, and that's where, like, I'm, as a non-artistic person, I'm like,
I'm
it's
not a
great to
musician.
pick brains. Yeah, it's great picking brains because, like, in my mind, I'm like, why do I never see giant watercolors? Well, there's the answer, Rob.
Because we need a giant paper.
Yeah, we need big
Some
pieces of
people do it.
paper. I love this piece, though. This makes me, I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. Almost like from Zelda, where you've got, like, the big, I don't want to say the bosses, but kind of like the bosses that are hiding in the things, right? Or like Fable, where you've got like these cool characters that are like
Like a
blinded.
golem or
Yeah, right. And I love
giant
that.
or
I think that's also my fantasy. Like, I'm a fantasy geek with books, and like I love fantasy worlds. So seeing this, I'm like, that draws me to it right away. But it also, there's a really cool, like, I feel like there's an indigenous vibe here
yeah.
without even realizing. You know what I mean? Like, we've got the
It's on
salmon
purpose.
and the eagles, and it's like, I love that because that is one thing I think is very valuable to add, even if like you're not indigenous, is that praise to the people whose land it is, right?
Maybe like being in BC and seeing the landscape and like knowing that the indigenous have been living there for so long, like I'm on their land, and so I imagine there was a spirit of a river and stuff. Like, yeah, the spirit of a river have to be indigenous. It can't be a European or Asian face.
I love that. Because my family is from Europe, and then I have family who's indigenous, so it's kind of like a cool understanding both realms, and to see that you understand both realms too is kind of a cool thing. Because I love nature, and I feel like that's one thing that Revelstoke, that embodies Revelstoke, is just this beautiful nature. There's something, there's something here. Like, coming from the Okanagan, where it's like, it's hot. It's deserty. It's yellow. There's no green grass. You know what I mean? Like, coming here and it's just green and beautiful, and you look up the mountains.
We're in a rainforest climate, so that's why it's so.
It's mind blowing to
green.
think 4 hours away is this heaven on earth. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just hidden. And that's like, as the more I come out to Revelstoke, the more I realize not just the people, the talent, and the artwork that's here is just amazing and mind blowing, but the surrounding area.
Yeah, the nature is really strong.
And super spiritual. There's a weird energy that flows through this valley. And we've had, like yesterday's interview was one of them wants to come and show us around because she's like, oh, I got the day off. You guys want to learn about Revelstoke? And we're like, yeah, totally. So the people themselves are something beautiful about this region. And I think, like you said, like, you never left.
Yeah.
Like, you fell in love with it too. And I'm like, I see it. I understand.
Yeah.
And, like,
and I grew up learning snowboarding in the Alps, in France and Switzerland. And yeah, no, the mountains here are just so wide and so beautiful.
is it a big difference between the mountain scapes?
Yeah, it's not the same mountain at all, but it's mostly in the Alps there is people everywhere. Like Europeans have built a village everywhere. When here there is Revelstoke and around there is just wide mountain, and that's maybe the energy and the stuff is coming from the forest or the glacier here.
Love it. Was that a big culture shock when you came? Going from like Europe that's completely established and has been established for thousands of years to coming to coming from a country that is like one of the top countries, right? Like, it's been established for a long time, to come to BC, which is like the final frontier.
Yeah.
Besides Alaska, in my eyes, like, it's the final frontier. We've got like 7 million people, and 4 million of that is in Vancouver region.
Yeah.
And the other 3 is spread out across the rest of the province.
Well, France is almost double the population of the whole Canada.
Yeah.
For a country 10 times smaller.
Yeah,
So
right? And that's where it's like...
That's why I love here. It's like, oh, they're so quiet and
breathe.
breathe place. And yeah.
If you had any advice for an artist who wanted to start a career or to begin becoming a painter, but didn't know where to start, what advice would you give them?
Start. Fade. Start, fade, reproduce, again and again. Be curious. Observe, copy. There is no innovative creation. You say I have a unique style. For me, I just see all my influence in my art. Like, I'm not unique. I just copy different artists. So yeah, just curiosity and sharing. Open your ears and listen if there is some workshop or trying some new medium. That sometimes a new medium is like a new passion, and I would say mostly experiment and be creative. Even if it's not beautiful, the important is to create something.
I love that. And I think that's valuable. I think there's a lot of value in letting yourself be free and doing what the body wants to do.
Yeah.
Especially on canvas. I see so many colors here that I just love. Like, there's the way your palette works for color, it works. Like the donut run. Probably one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time.
It was an event in town last month. I participated. It was a fundraiser run, and every kilometer you have a donut. And it was really fun. And I had so much fun after this day. I was like, I will make a drawing of that.
Right? And there's just like, there's so many different styles. I'm looking at the wall over here, and there's characters, there's landscapes, there's no limit to what you're able to do. And that's, I think, is like the ultimate win as an artist, because a lot of artists I've met have put themselves in a bracket. This is my niche, this is what I do. And I feel like you're like, I'll do whatever I want, as long as I feel good about it. Yes. Well, Jah-cko, I want to thank you so much. It's been an absolute honor sitting down.
It was a real pleasure to talk about
Where can people find you if they want to follow you or purchase some work?
Instagram. Mostly I will publish off my drawing on Instagram, and slowly I will try to find a market or gallery, but I'm really lazy about doing the process to ask, so it may take time, but I want to do more and more sharing my drawings, so it will happen, but so far the easy way is Instagram.
Perfect. Well, you send it to me and we'll put it in the description of the YouTube to make it easy.
Link below and everything.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you again for your time, your story, and
My pleasure.
having us in your home and getting to see your beautiful pieces of work, because make sure you go check him out. He's got some gorgeous work. Camera doesn't even justify it. Once you're physically seeing it, it's a lot different. So thank you again, brother. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, there will be a QR code at the bottom of the screen that you can scan. It'll take you to a form to fill out, and we will be in touch with you. From everyone